Sure. Thank you. All right, this is where we're going to call it a day on Sports World today. And do not forget to be back next week to tell you more about the sports, the world of sports. But for now, let me hand you over to Ruth in the new studio to take Nationwide.
Thank you for joining us. You made it right on time. It's Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguela. Let's start by telling you that the federal government is working out modalities to assist rural farmers with affordable vehicles through cooperative groups to reduce the effect of COVID-19 pandemic and other variables on food security. The Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs is leading the new initiative and has held an interministerial meeting to that effect. Let's get the details from Mitari Ban.
Access to markets, especially cost of transportation, is said to be taking a toll on the price of foodstuff and the income of farmers. Now, the federal government, through the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, is introducing a program that will mitigate difficulties encountered by rural farmers and other SME groups as part of the efforts to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty. In collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the private sector, thousands of buses under a hire purchase arrangement are to be rolled out.
The whole essence here is to ensure that our rural folks have access to decent transportation facility. And now that there is a slight adjustment of the price of oil, PMS, we do recognize some Shylock businessmen who decide to take advantage. So once this is realized, we believe it will do quite a lot to stabilize the price system for the benefit of our people.
The project is to be launched by President Buhari as soon as modalities have been put in place. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishakin, has inaugurated 5 hand pump boreholes in 5 communities of Taraba State, sunk by the Department of Civil Military Cooperation under his purview. Charles Abba reports that the Chief of Defense Staff was represented by Rear Admiral Abdul Adamu.
Over time, military operations like that of the 4th Special Forces Command, the Nigerian Air Force, and the Operation Wellstroke, which covers Benue, Taraba, and Nasarawa states, continue to use the kinetic approach to quell security challenges in various communities. The Chief of Defense Staff, represented by Rear Admiral Abdul Adamu, said the sinking of boreholes in the communities could yield more sustainable peace.
This project, which we call as Quick Impact Project, is just one of the ways to pay back those peaceful communities to sustain the peace. 2
of the boreholes were sited at Wukari New Site and Rafin Kada in Wukari local government area, 1 at Akate in Donga local government area, and 2 others in Takum and Chachanji communities of Takum local government area, which are areas that embraced the peace initiated by Operation Wellstroke.
We believe that by giving them what they really require, it will go a long way to find the peace which is now existing in southern Taraba.
Taraba State Governor, represented by his Special Advisor on Security, Colonel Wunuken Angio, retired, and Benefiting Council Chairman acknowledged the efforts of Operation Wellstroke in restoring peace to the communities and thanked the Chief of Defense Staff for making life more meaningful for the people through the provision of water. Before now, Wukari, Akate, and Takum roads were dreaded due to activities of armed bandits. From Takum, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Right, and still staying in Benue State, we hear that the state has expanded Security Council, which has met stakeholders of Sankira axis and resolved to give peace a chance following the incident that resulted in the death of Ghana and the arrest of 40 others by security operatives early this week. Governor Samuel Otom, who chaired the meeting, states that the state government will continue to work with the security agencies. Again, Charles Abba reports that the tour chief, Professor James Ayase, also attended the meeting.
It expanded Security Council meeting with traditional rulers and local government council chairmen of Logo, Ukum, and Kasinala local government areas that make up the Sankara extraction of the state was informed by the killing of Tewasi Agwaza, alias Ghana, and the arrest of 40 of his alleged accomplices by security personnel, which created panic in the various communities. Governor Samuel Otom said it is to avoid further anxieties and to dissuade people from taking laws into their hands that the forum unanimously resolved to tread the path of peace. The governor said that in spite of the situation, the meeting agreed to continually work with security agencies, but requested that the boys held by the military be released to go through civil processes.
The other thing is all items that were confiscated. We are also appealing to the military to return them. Some of those vehicles were hired, some of them are official vehicles to our government officials, and some other things were documents. So we appeal that all this be returned to us.
Governor Otom reiterated that while the 42 youths who have been granted amnesty are being profiled to undergo skills acquisition program, the door of amnesty is still open for others in the state. He urged security formations to beef up surveillance and intelligence to effectively handle the challenges of insecurity. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
We're not done with security, but this time around in Uyo, a mob attack on security and civil defense officer attached to expatriates involved in the construction of Aba Ikot Egbene Road led to an accidental discharge that claimed the life of one Unyekachi Umogu at a portion of the road barricaded by some youths of Umokoro community in Obungwa local government area of Abia State. An eyewitness, Abdullahi Abubakar, who drove the expatriates during the incident, says the NSCDC officer narrowly escaped death. Kelvin Samuel reports that the construction expatriates were returning to their base in Uyo.
In the incident to a cross-section of journalists in Akwa Ibom State, the driver, Abdullahi Abubakar, said on sighting the barricaded portion of the road, the security personnel alighted to dialogue with the youth to let them go about their business. But he noticed that the youth were moving towards the officer, who retreated and released a warning shot. But while some ran away, others persisted before the second shot that hit the man.
I saw them trying beating the security man. They are trying to beat the security man. The soldiers, they are covering him. They are telling them to stop. But wait, because there are many of them stick and all this, they're beating him with his rifle. I don't know, from there, so I just find my way.
When contacted the commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC Akwa Ibom State Command, Samuel Fadeyi, debunked the rumor making the rounds that the incident occurred at the man's residence, saying that the officer and the expatriates were on their way back to Akwa Ibom State from Aba and as such could not have gone to anybody's house, especially as they had no business with the man in question. He, however, assured that his command is doing everything possible to reach out to the deceased family with the hope of amicable settlement.
When it comes to firearms, we don't play with it. Our salaries are being paid by taxpayers' money. We cannot turn back on them.
Officer Robinson Otobon, who was almost lynched to death by the mob, was rescued by soldiers at a nearby military checkpoint and is presently receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
Now let's delve to flooding. With the continuous rise in the water level of River Niger, residents of the coastal communities in Anambra State said they are very much alert. Well, Uchenna Nwokoyo will tell us more.
Some parts of Onitsha and Obaru local government areas are within the flood-prone areas. Aside the preparations of the state government, residents and traders within the coastal areas of the River Niger said they are closely monitoring the situation. Part of their preparations include evacuation of farm produce.
We are preparing. So even midnight and all the time, we are preparing. Anytime the flood disturbs us, so we can beg anywhere we can stay.
I just pack some sand and cover where water will use full and enter my house. So I don't have any money to go rent another house.
For the people trading in markets near the riverbank, the flood is a yearly experience that has become part of them.
There are some people that have shops there. Now it is covered with water, with flood. But we do provide for them where to trade when such a thing occurs. I would like government to assist us mostly on this life jacket.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency had predicted flooding occasioned by heavy rainfall within the riverine communities. In Onitsha, Uche Nwekoyo, NTA News.
And in Kebbi State, following the flood disaster that ravaged parts of the state, many households have been rendered homeless. Nura Tanko Wakili was at some of the affected communities and now report.
Namangoma is a village in Gondo local government area of Kebbi State that is said to have never experienced flood except this year. The village is completely sacked by the flood, as over 90% of its building collapsed following the incidents, rendering hundreds of households homeless. Although no life was said to have been lost to the disaster in Namangoma, properties worth millions of naira have been destroyed, including hundreds of animals.
Our buildings, our stores, our food have been taken away to the riverside. Nothing left. Even the garment we are wearing, this is the one we have.
All parts of Namangoma have a lot of houses, rooms, which was lost. A lot of money, animals were lost.
Yesterday, I instructed one of our contractors to come and dig 3 boreholes so that they can get drinking water.
It was also a hard time for many households in Argungu, Ariwa, Jega, Kalgo, Birnin Kebbi, and many other local government areas where hundreds of houses were destroyed by the flood disaster. This development has further worsened the emergency situation authorities are already battling with, as relevant agencies are said to be stretched to capacity.
That is the work of God, and it is nature, and you cannot control nature. And it's not their own mistake.
Meanwhile, Kebbi State government has directed all local government councils to provide all necessary support to the victims of flood disaster across the state. Although 11 local government areas were earlier predicted to experience flooding, the disaster has now affected all the 20 local government areas in the state. Nura Tanko Wakili, NTA News.
Well, Asaba is not left out, as some communities living within the flood-prone areas in the state have been placed on alert of an impending flood, as predicted by NIMET. Against this backdrop, Thelma Eliogo examined the measures put in place by Delta State government to ensure safety of lives and means of livelihood of the people.
Ever since NIMET alerted the country of impending flood in coastal states, there has been trepidation in residents of flood-prone areas in Delta State. This is arising from their experiences in the 2012 and 2019 perennial flooding, which destroyed homes, farmlands, and other sources of livelihood. Some of the victims are yet to fully recover from the after effect.
As you hear say flood, they come again, everybody they fear. Because you remember what happened 2012 and 2019. It's not easy for us. So, with the beg God, may fraud not come again.
During this time, some will go and stay in somebody's house to allow the flood to come down before coming back to the house.
Many people are afraid of the flood that is coming this year again. So we are begging on the government they should try to help them.
The state government, taking cognizance of the devastation of flooding in 19 local government areas of the state, say it is putting up preemptive measures to mitigate the challenge.
We needed to clean up the channels, all of the tributaries to River Niger. We have successfully done the dredging, or if you like, the deseating of the Anwai River. We have also successfully done the deseating of the Yabi River.
However, the state is not building IDP camps due to the COVID-19.
The COVID is here, and so you cannot afford to go and gather people
in one place called IDP camp, and you are preventing them from suffering from the effect of the flood, and then you now go and put them in a place where they now go and either contract the virus or you worsen their health situation, which is why we have been carrying out sensitization.
Meanwhile, citizens, especially farmers, are appealing for assistance to harvest their crops quickly before the flood takes over their farmlands. In Asaba, Thelma Eliok, NTA News.
Lagos is our first stop on Nationwide as we join Awal. He's going to bring us some reports right now. Awal?
Thank you, Ruth. Good afternoon. The NTA2 Children Virtual Paper Presentation Grand Finale has taken place. Annie Daniels reports that winners will be smiling home with mouth-watering prizes few days from now.
The virtual paper presentation is in two categories for children between ages 8 and 11 and between ages 12 and 15. The topics were on issues surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. NTA2 management says the initiative is to give children a platform to speak out as well as gain more knowledge on the issue.
Hear how children share their own experiences as they stayed within the COVID-19 era and had experienced tremendous levels of skills.
COVID became a phenomenon that linked the world. Young people now have a heightened awareness about global issues. At the end of the day, if you don't speak out, psychologically, this thing will bring you down.
The keenly contested competition had a total of 10 participants who displayed a high level of intelligence and knowledge.
I use this period to achieve so many things which they are not taught in school. Some of the achievements include participating in household washing and cleaning activities.
Nigeria is a developing country. Online classes is good for the future, but it has some disadvantages.
The competition is expected to produce 3 winners.
Prizes will be presented on Monday by 1 p.m. at the Postmortem Hall, NTA2 Lagos, to the winners. They'll be invited because you cannot present a product virtually. So they'll be invited, and of course, we will adhere strictly to COVID-19 protocols of social distancing.
The NTA2 Channel 5 online virtual children's paper presentation is the first in the series. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And shifting attention to the economy, the deliberate efforts by the federal government to generate revenue through payment of stamp duty in the face of COVID-19 will no doubt strengthen the economy. Experts have expressed the importance of proper sensitization among citizens for better understanding and compliance.
Lagos State is one of the few states in the country that rakes in huge revenue from taxes. Data from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics shows that in 2019, the state generated 359.32 billion naira made through local taxes. This is 69.55% of the total sum of 516.62 billion naira revenue from its pool. The trend has translated into developmental projects.
As you earn a loan brought about 270 billion naira to the table, direct assessment brought in 16 billion, and then road taxes brought in about 9.7 billion.
The directive by the Federal Inland Revenue Service that some listed transactions such as bank transactions and lease agreements, among others, would attract payment of stamp duty is an indication of little drops that make a mighty ocean.
Ultimately, I'm sure the economy will benefit because it's likely to impact on revenue significantly. I must admit that. But the point to emphasize is that we should identify the vulnerable segments of this society.
We didn't pay stamp duty. How will government have money to fix the road or to provide social amenities?
The government part, they need to do more enlightenment. They need to enlighten people and explain to us what the stamp duty means.
For Lagos state government to boost revenue from stamp duty and strengthen a shrinking economy from the effects of COVID-19, it would require an expansion of its tax database and enforcement to ensure compliance. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Nationwide. Time for a break. Don't go away.
NTA-TV College Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is currently admitting students for its ordinary diploma programs in television journalism, television production, and television engineering. Interested candidates are advised to obtain relevant information concerning eligibility at our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. For further information, contact Assistant Director, Marketing, NTA TV College Jos on 0803-314-4383 or the Academic Office of the College on 0806-980-9807. Announcer, Registrar.
NTA News 24, a 24-hour news station, brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
StarTimes channel 101 and Free TV channel 703.
Join us.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring great personalities from all walks of life. Expository interview with a young TV presenter who shows passion on what she does, Morayo Afolabi Brown of TVC. Pick a copy of this compendium of mind-blowing stories and get abreast with issues as regards media convergence, leadership, health, star profiles, star programs, fashion, sports, human angle stories, and lots more. Meet some media professionals within our space who have paid their dues in no small ways. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Welcome back. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 188 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. The figures indicate that Lagos has 47 new cases, followed by Enugu with 25, Plateau 21, FCT 14, Abia 11, Delta 10, Bauchi, Ondo and Kaduna states have 8 cases each. Others are Ogun 6, Imo 5, Benue, Katsina and Taraba 4 cases each, Edo, Kwara and Oyo 3 cases, while Rivers and Yobe have 2 cases each. With this development, Nigeria has 56,017 confirmed cases, 43,998 treated and discharged, while 1,076 have died of the virus. Let's look at good governance. Youth in Nigeria are advocating for a robust national leadership reorientation that is devoid of regional, tribal and religion affiliations. Well, the current All Progressives Congress government, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, and its policies of all-round development, particularly infrastructural development across the country, the youth believe requires genuine efforts and plans for sustainability. The political movement group, with youths cutting across the 6 geopolitical zones, are also championing a call for a peaceful and purposeful political environment that will always produce leaders with development vision like President Muhammadu Buhari.
in Nigeria, we're supposed to do what? Emulate what he is doing, make a movement so that there will be one unified Nigeria with peace and stability, so that by the next time, the youth will take over Nigeria on leadership and follow exactly what he has been doing. We want a unified, peaceful country.
You can see here that people of different tribes and nationalities, and that is the purpose of a Nigerian. It's not a tribal issue, it's not a religious issue, it's just celebrating the politics of our leader.
They agree that youths in Nigeria are the major beneficiaries of the Buhari administration through impactful programs. And to Legislative Affairs, the Senate Committee on Industry, Trade and Investment has called on the management of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission to decentralize its focus by promoting investment potential abound in rural areas in Nigeria. Well, this was part of the recommendations of the Parliamentary Committee when it visited the headquarters of the Investment Commission. Ignatius Ungwa reports.
2 days of parliamentary oversight by the Senate Committee on Industry, Trade and Investment. The urgent need to showcase the many investment points across states and local governments in Nigeria was a major concern for the committee when it visited Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission.
Go to the village and make promotion to the village. There are a lot of producers there. They don't have the opportunity. The bureaucracy will not allow them to even access Abuja.
To achieve this book of states, we got each one of the 36 state governors to sign off on the page for their state. It shows the investment opportunities in that state.
The Commission observed that it has commenced the second phase of the reforms of administrative procedures of Pioneer Status Incentive, which seeks to encourage the establishment and growth of industries in Nigeria. At the Corporate Affairs Commission, the Registrar General informed the committee that it has decentralized its business registration procedures with various ongoing innovations as it contributed 1.12 billion naira to the Federation account between June and 10th of September 2020 as operating surplus.
You can register from anywhere and you get your certificate every state. Yeah. So all you need to do is to indicate the point of collection.
The committee believes that if the Commission partners with the Ministry of Information and Culture, it will achieve the needed publicity for its innovations. The Commission hopes to achieve at least 80% of its revenue target for 2020 fiscal year. In Abuja, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Let's talk agric. Towards encouraging farming activities for food sufficiency and security, over 200 young farmers from northern Borno who participated in an agricultural insurance sensitization workshop have also benefited from an empowerment program. The sensitization workshop was organized by Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation in conjunction with House of Representatives member for Mongono, Marte and Ngaze Federal Constituency, Mohammed Tahir Mongono. Memuna Garba reports.
With the relative peace being enjoyed in Borno State, where agricultural activities have picked up in most places, farmers need to be accorded priority to enable them regain their livelihoods disrupted as a result of insurgency. It was against this background that farmers from Mongono, Marte and Ganzai in Borno State have cause to smile, having acquired more knowledge on how to boost their agricultural activities. The farmers who are full of gratitude for learning more agricultural skills and how to secure agri insurance cover promised to step down the knowledge acquired to other farmers in their localities.
This empowerment, it will go a long way in providing food in our constituency.
It will improve our agricultural activities.
The 3-day intensive agricultural insurance sensitization workshop focused on enlightening farmers toward the need to insure their project with the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation to forestall any loss to their investments, insurance policies across the agricultural value chain. The organizers said more farmers are being targeted to ensure food security.
We have a branch office in Borno. He will follow through on what we've done to make sure that these farmers sensitized benefited from the activities.
At the end of the workshop, each participant got starter packs and 70,000 naira cash donation. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Well, as part of the efforts to reduce road crashes in the Yamba months, the Court-Martial of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyemi, has paid a sensitization visit to the Lorrying Command of the Corps to prepare the officers and men for the task ahead. Kende Omolosho reports.
The last 4 months of the year always witness high vehicular movement due to festivity. Though the Buhari administration is embarking on rigorous road construction across the country, the FRSC is setting on modalities to ensure crashes are reduced to the barest minimum. FRSC, under the leadership of Boboye Oyeyemi, is adopting new strategy for its Ember Month campaign this year.
It's very important for us to look at the state of our preparedness and also to improve on the logistics in critical zones and personnel, so that what we observed for the Ember Month and end of the year patrol last year can be corrected, and for us to reawaken the consciousness of the road users throughout this.
People are expected to adhere strictly to all traveling safety protocols of COVID-19, as motorists and commuters violating the rules will be punished. Kende Omolosho, NTA News.
In Kaduna State, we hear that the new approach which engineers at the Rigachikun Bridge adopted in fixing the first portion of the bridge which caved in is yielding the desired result. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that one of the latest approaches was to reduce the water density on the transition bays.
Being an environment where water meanders 365 days, and the fact that the damage to the bridge came at a time when water levels were at their peak, the engineers are treating the base of the bridge with a cocktail of defense mechanism to safeguard it against the impact of water. After a series of layers of boulders and concrete to fill the transition base, a basket of an iron rod is now being laid where casting will follow to serve as a buffer against the negative effects of rainfall on the base of the bridge. With the pace at which the engineers are fixing the damaged portion of the closed bridge, reopening it may not be far away. The alternative bridge, which is in use now, also begs for attention, but it is the saving grace for now. In Kaduna, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
Governor Lalong of Plateau State inaugurates one-stop shop. Let's get the details from Felicia as we head to Jos right away.
Thank you, Ruth. Welcome to Jos. As part of commitment towards sustainable economic recovery and to improve the ease of doing business, the Plateau State government has established a one-stop shop investment center in Jos. The reports. The journey to this milestone started in 2012 with the aim of reducing the cost of doing business free of obstacles for an improved flow of domestic and foreign direct investments to the state. The One-Stop Investment Center, which is a national strategic focus when fully utilized, will spur the growth of businesses, create jobs, and boost economic viability in the state.
When fully operational, the center will facilitate and simplify processes for business setup, such as granting permits, land titles, taxation issues, and any other requirements for investors.
This is not just for foreign or big investors, but also for MSMEs in the state.
Inaugurating the facility, Governor Simon Lalong emphasized that investors and tourists no longer entertain fears nor consider the state a dangerous place.
Our rescue administration is matching words with action in ensuring that business activities on the plateau blossom. With COVID-19 impacting the global economy and seriously affecting our state's fortune, we need to adopt new approaches to survival by taking advantage of avenues that will assist our people engage in businesses and job creation.
The center presently has 18 participating agencies from both state and federal governments. Still on efforts to rejig the economy, Air passengers in Plateau State will soon experience ease in business trips as well as attract more investors to harness the rich economic potential Plateau State is endowed with. This followed the introduction of flight services from Jos to Abuja, expected to commence soon from the Yakubu Gowon Airport. Hyper Ashezikopep reports.
This is the Yakubu Gowon Airport, soon to commence flight operations from Jos to Abuja to ease business trips, attract more investors, and create viable platform for tourism.
The major policy thrust of this government rests squarely on tourism, economic rebirth, and of course peace and security. Now all this translates to the fact that communication is key to all of them. Now the opening of air schedule from Abuja to Jos will actually encourage tourists to be on the plateau.
The Plateau State government, as a matter of concern, have also tried to establish what we call the one-stop investment center, whereby we will complement the activities of the airport.
With this, a lot of people who have been conscious of security issues on the road before will find it easier. And you're going to have an immeasurable growth of business on the plateau.
I hope the cost will also be reasonable. But let it start. It's a very good initiative, and we should support it. And then when people know that it's happening that way, I'm sure they will have some cargo session also. Things will become much better.
The flight services are expected to place the state on the path of economic growth.
Every preparation has been on ground for them to start a very successful operation.
The airport authorities are assuring passengers of quality air services. From the Yakubu Gowon Airport, Ashezigopep, NTA News.
This is Nationwide. More reports in Abuja as we rejoin Ruth.
Thank you very much, Felicia. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma says the Emergency Communication Center has contributed largely in combating security, health and other emergency-related issues in the state. He made this known at the official launch of the center by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Pantami, in Owerri. Bright Ebocho reports.
Earlier in the year, President Muhammadu Buhari launched the Emergency Communication Center, which activated the universal toll-free 112 number service in Abuja as a veritable platform to enhance security of lives and property.
I want to assure the President through this delegation that Imo State will continue to support his policies, continue to support all the social interventions extended to our people with a view to alleviating the challenges in this state.
Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, says the EECs played a vital role during the total lockdown occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic, as it provided a platform for members of the public to seek life-saving information by dialing 112 from any of the networks.
With this number, you will be able to share information about a crime of corruption being perpetrated or perpetuated to the relevant institutions that will be able to provide intervention or arrest the situation as the case may be.
The Emergency Communication Center has so far been activated in 19 states, including the Federal Capital Territory in Owerri. Bright Ebochu, NTA News.
All right, let's join Kemi in Ibadan. She has more reports for us on Nationwide. Kemi.
Ruth, and welcome to Ibadan. Oyo State has been identified with highest number of victims of human trafficking in Nigeria. This was disclosed by the Director General National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in Ibadan, the state capital. Correspondent Oyeyin Komole reports.
Data from the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, revealed that 1,052 indigenes of Oyo State have been rescued from trafficking between 2004 and July 2020. The data was described as alarming when compared to the total number of victims from other states in Nigeria.
IOM has facilitated approximately the return of more than 19,800 Nigerian nationals from various parts of the world.
Zero tolerance policy on ground for human trafficking, together with stricter measures being put in place, would drastically curb this practice.
To this end, Oyo State government and NAPTIP are collaborating with other major players to stem the tide by setting up a task force.
The state task forces on human trafficking have a pivotal role to play in ensuring adequate sensitization at the grassroots.
Oyo State being a border state to the Republic, a lot of human trafficking are going on there. I'll take this opportunity to implore the immigration service to support us.
As human trafficking is said to be assuming a fearful dimension, NAPTIP is optimistic of strengthening its operations in Oyo State. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
The decision of Ogun State government to reopen primary, secondary and tertiary institutions in the state with effect from September 21 has been described as a welcome development, which is long overdue. Responding Joel Fukuola reports.
Educational institutions across the country were forced to shut down abruptly with the discovery of coronavirus in the country in March, which elongated the academic lifespan of some students. But that is about to change with the decision of the state government to reopen schools to enable the education sector bounce back, while some other states have also followed suit by releasing their templates for school resumption. Parents are excited that their children are going back to school. Just like the parents, the academics are in support of the decision of the state government to reopen schools in view of the negative impact of the closure.
They have been away for the past 5 months, and the students have engaged themselves in various atrocities that is affecting them, affecting the society, and affecting the school as a whole.
I want to encourage everyone, the stakeholders in the educational sector, to be safety conscious.
Pupils between ages 1 to 5 in the nursery and kindergarten classes will not resume on the 21st of September, but will join their seniors in the next phase of resumption. In Ijebu-Ode, Joel Fukuola, NTA News.
That does it from here. More reports with Ruth in Abuja.
Many thanks, Kemi. The Federal Road Safety Corps has expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Army for the provision of over 6 hectares of land for the relocation of expressways to reduce risk of road accidents along the route. Kama Kama was at the new Anagada Trailer Park inspection site and now reports.
Just few days ago, a commercial bus ran into a station truck along the highway at Gwagwalada Giri Azuz, which claimed over 3 lives. Other similar incidents have been a daily routine around the area. Over a decade, trailers have consistently parked on the shoulders of the highway, posing serious danger to road users. The Nigerian Army, in collaboration with Collective Ventures Limited, the managers of Livestock International Market, Anagada, mapped out over 6 hectares of land for the provision of a standard trailer park.
It's part of the social responsibilities of the Nigerian Army and the Collective Ventures to save life and safeguard the general public for safety, actually. And there is a need of getting this trailer park in this place.
We are not going to let them down. We must make sure we fulfill our promises within a twinkle of eye.
FRSC FCT Sector Commander Ayuba Wobingora and other traffic and security personnel expressed their impression of the new proposed trailer park.
Efforts have been put in place to get a temporary trailer park, but does not be possible. Today, we are witnessing a very large land.
The market was established 2nd January 2019 by the Chief of Army Staff to boost economic activities around the area. Kama Kama, NTA News.
And Sokoto will be our last stop on Nationwide as we join Musa for more reports.
Hello. The Zamfara state government plans to construct 800 kilometers rural roads across the 14 local government areas of the state as part of effort to improve the living standard of rural dwellers. Governor Bello Muhammad stated this while flagging off the construction of a popular feeder road in Bangudu local government area under the State Rural Access and Marketing Project. Sadia Abubakar Tunau has more.
Zamfara State Government recently established the State Rural Access and Marketing Project, an agency responsible for boosting the socio-economic well-being of rural dwellers through massive construction and rehabilitation of rural roads across the state. Governor Bello Mohammed flagged off the construction of Tankalawa Samawa Road in Bungudu local government area under the pilot project in some 3 local government areas of the state. The governor said rural roads will especially allow smooth transportation of agricultural produce, enhance community relations, thereby boosting economic activities as well as providing good terrain for security operatives in the state. He expressed his administration's readiness to continue to meet its obligation in the area of counterpart fund for all projects undertaken with the development partners.
Our days for a new president will therefore remain unaccomplished without bringing a new lease of life for our rural communities, rebuilding and much needed infrastructures.
Zamfara State Commissioner for Rural Development and Cooperatives Alhaji Abubakar Abdullahi Tsafi said similar work will soon commence in Tsafi and Maradon local government areas. Some members of the benefiting communities underscored the significance of the road and expressed gratitude to Zamfara State Government under the leadership of Governor Bello Mohammed for the wonderful intervention. In Gusau, Sadia Abubakar Tunau, NTA News.
Wife of the Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu, has commiserated with the people of Wabaku village in Makera of Birnin Kebbi local government over recent flood in the area. Hassan Abubakar Koko reports.
Wabaku village is about 3 to 4 kilometers away from Makera town, and it is one of the villages that experienced recent flooding in the state. The question now is, how are the people going to move in and out of Wabaku village as the road leading to the area is highly flooded? The only alternative is to use boats, which the residents use as the only means of transportation. It was indeed a tug of war for the team before we finally reached the village of Wabaku. The wife of the governor, in a message delivered by Hajia Asma Shinkafi, said Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu was greatly shocked over the incident and therefore sympathized with them, adding that they should accept it in good faith. A health practitioner, Hajia Hadiza Kola, advised the people of Wabaku to take personal hygiene serious, stressing that they should always boil their drinking water to prevent outbreak of cholera and other diseases. The district head of Wabaku, Hakimi Maisaji, thanked Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu for her support at this trying time. Some of the residents who spoke to NTA News thanked the wife of the governor for the kind gesture. Hassana Abubakar Koko, NTA News.
Nationwide continues after the break.
She cries. She cries in anguish and in pain. She bears the scourge of her grief. She toils in vain for justice and succumbs to silence. He gloats over his malady. Like a beast, he pounces with no remorse. Her cry means nothing. Her pain feeds her shame. Like an orphan, she's left to grieve in solitude. But no more will she cry in vain. Her adversaries will henceforth bear the brunt of their cruelty. Rape is evil. Rape is a plague, a pandemic of monumental consequences. We must unite and kick it out of our society.
Connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment.
Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. Intelsat 901/332.5 degrees east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
ICPC and NTA say you can help Nigeria to flatten the curve on COVID-19, just as you can help flatten the curve on corruption. Follow transparency, accountability, and integrity just as you follow health guidelines. Stay home with integrity and maintain your distance from corruption, just as you stay away from COVID-19 by maintaining social distance. Report every act of corruption to ICPC just as you report COVID-19 to NCDC. Stay away from corruption, stay safe from COVID-19. Report any act of corruption to ICPC on toll-free number 0800-2255-4272. This message is brought to you by ICPC and NTA.
Welcome back. The Islamic Development Bank, in conjunction with an international organization for migration, is to partner Nigerians in Diaspora Commission on Diaspora Humanitarian Sukuk, diaspora remittances, as well as capacity development programs, training and research. Dr. Mahmoud Kamara, Regional Head of Islamic Development Bank in Nigeria, who led the delegation, disclosed this in Abuja during a strategic meeting with the Chairman, CEO, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa. Dr. Kamara explains that the Diaspora Humanitarian Sukuk will help assuage the sufferings of Nigerians, particularly those who have lost their means of livelihood and were struggling for any means of survival. A welcome development for the CEO of NIDCAM.
So it's something we're very much interested in. It's something that I think is doable. It's something I believe will have an impact on not just the economy of Nigeria, but Nigerians themselves, particularly Nigerians in the diaspora, that we all really need to reach out to. So I'm excited about it, but I want to be excited to ensure that it succeeds. So let's have, we put together a strong team made up of IOM, IDB, the Diaspora Commission, to start work immediately.
All right, let's talk sports. Ministry of Sports to establish Olympic camps in preparation for Tokyo Olympics. Olumide Guntola brings us sports update.
While receiving a taekwondoist Elizabeth Ayanacho, who secured an Olympic ticket in the minus 67 kg bout of the 2020 African Taekwondo qualifier a few months ago, Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dari charged athletes, especially Olympic band athletes, to avoid rustiness despite ban on sporting activities and declare a pre-Olympic camp at different centers of the Federation in the next 2 weeks.
Just tune them up and get them started before we now have the 60-day camp next year.
Did you talk about making sure that Tokyo is different from London, that we're on the same page with regards to this objective?
An Olympian, Chioma Ajua, and partners have distributed palliatives to athletes under the auspices of the Nigerian police with a view to preparing them for post-COVID-19 activities. Chioma Ajua clamored for strict adherence to COVID-19 rules as federal government lifts ban on non-contact sports.
Government really have to help them to make sure that they are being tested so that each and every one of them will be COVID-19 free.
So this palliative is just to encourage them and to let them know that, okay, they are thought about.
This is a good idea for a person who will see as a role model.
In another development, the Lagos State Sports Commission have set the pace for others to return to sporting activities with the successful hosting of the Invitational Open Tournament for non-contact sports, tagged Sport is Back. The tournament was behind closed door.
Let's practice what the new normal is. Let's get used to what we should be doing.
I'm happy that
I get to do this.
From the foreign scene, it was a clinical start for Arsenal with a 3-0 win over Fulham during the opener of the 2020-2021 English Premier League. Other matches slated for Sunday indicate that West Bromwich Albion will trade tackles with Leicester City, while Tottenham Hotspur will lock horns with Everton. With Sports Update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
And just before we go, let's have a quick check on Sunday's weather perspective. All right, that's Nationwide for today. Thank you very much for your company. Do enjoy your weekend. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.